Amit Malviya, you worked in international corporations and you know how wary they are of taking on any form of law enforcement. So when there is a visit from the Delhi police's team to the office in Delhi and in Gurgaon of Twitter, that to them feels like a raid. It may just have been to come and present a notice, but that for any corporate would feel like an intimidatory tactic, which is what Jack Dorsey seems to be referring to. So it is not necessarily a raid in the technical sense, but the Delhi police did visit their doors.
Rahul, we all know that for almost 2 years, Twitter was not in compliance with the Indian laws and regulations. Whether or not somebody sees a visit as a raid is not the moot point here. The issue is that what Dorsey said, and at the level at which he is, he cannot be economical with truth or be flippant with facts. There was no raid, there were no arrests. Let that thing be completely settled. Now let me come to the larger issue of what's really happening, Dorsey's comment and timing. Rahul Gandhi goes to the United Kingdom and he appeals to foreign powers to intervene in the affairs of India, seeking their support. He is castigated for that back home. He now goes to America and meets several groups that constantly work against India's interest, and a lot of them have linkages to the ISI Jamaat nexus. He also has clandestine meetings with government officials in the US administration, details of which are not out in the public domain. We all know that Dorsey has been part of the American deep state, and he's worked very closely with the agencies there to undermine the American election and the choices people were making. The Twitter was also in dock for its role in the COVID management in America and for pushing up a certain multinational pharma company's product and encouraging people to take jabs. These details have all emerged, and Twitter does not come out smelling of roses in this entire thing. Now you have a man of such dubious track record making a vague assertion against India. Why is it that every time Rahul Gandhi travels abroad, you have one of these toolkit members activated? Why should in the first place people from abroad have had a role or an axe to grind in India's farmer protest? There was a truckers protest in Canada. Did you see any one of those people intervene in the protests that were happening in Canada? Why do you have somebody like a George Soros and all these meetings that Rahul Gandhi is doing having linkages with this one man who has pledged $1 billion to ensure that there is a change of government in this country? Why would Rahul Gandhi hobnob with agencies such as these and have someone like a Dorsey, who's fairly aligned to this kind of group or worldview, speak at a time and question India for doing what it would otherwise? If you're telling me that governments world over do not have the authority to ensure peace and law and order in the country and ask social media giants to restrict accounts which are spreading hate and venom and instigating people, then clearly the government would be failing for not having protected people. But the larger question here is whether it is a farm protest, whether... No, let me finish, Rahul. Whether it is Pegasus, whether it is a CA protest, why is it so happens that Rahul Gandhi goes abroad, meets these kind of people, and there is a trigger here in India and the Congress laps up? I mean, this interview figured perhaps last night, late last night, and this morning the Congress was all over with it. Did they know about it? Had they orchestrated it? Have they seen this coming and were they ready for it? Is Rahul Gandhi and Congress party now going to lean on foreign money and media to fight the 2024 election?